Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Gaming with me, Tony Mo, and I'm very excited today to bring you my thoughts on the recently released Gears of War Ultimate multiplayer beta, which just went live on Xbox One yesterday. If you're interested in getting your hands on this thing, you can head over to gearsofwar.com. I'll have a link in the description below. Go ahead and sign up. They're going to be sending out beta keys over the next several days. But I was able to put in a couple matches at the game. I played about 4 matches in total, and it was a glorious, nostalgic experience. And it also, you know what? It just helped clarify something that I've been saying about the franchise for a very, very long time. I am someone who, with my group of friends, has played an absurd amount of Gears of War. Starting with Gears 1, I played actually Tournament Gears War in the Junior Cyber Athlete. You hear me talk about it all the time. Gears of War 2, I poured several thousand hours into, and even Gears of War 3, several thousand hours into. Judgment, not so much. But the game definitely saw some transformations over the years, and it's nice to see that with this multiplayer beta, this build of Gears of War Ultimate, the original Gears of War, as we know it, in terms of multiplayer, is intact. They haven't taken like the movement system from Gears of War 3 or from Judgment. This is Gears of War. It feels almost identical to the original game, albeit with really good netcode. And it is so strange to play the original Gears of War on an internet connection and have things feel so just proper. Like, they don't feel like they used to feel. That was the only thing about the Gears franchise in its early days, Gears 1 and Gears 2. The game had atrocious netcode. It was so well known for those problems. And that's gone now. So we have this really beautiful, smooth rendition of the original Gears of War. And what the original Gears of War does better than any of the other entries in the franchise is it remains a 4-player tactical cover-based shooter. And tactical, I guess, is the word I like to use there. As much as I don't like that word tactical because it's very generic, I think it's the best way to describe the original Gears of War experience. It wasn't about running around and bouncing off walls with the shotgun. You couldn't really do that, at least not in the same way that you could do it in Gears 3 with the movement system. It was much too stiff and rigid, and you really could move from cover to cover. There wasn't yet the ability to sort of ricochet off of every single piece of cover. To me, that was something, and it was an element that ruined the Gears of War experience. It became this shotgun battle, this sort of, this open one-on-one brawl fest. Don't get me wrong, you could still play as a team, but nothing can touch the level of teamwork that is required to be successful in Gears 1. Some of my best memories of the original Gears of War were these stalemates where my team was held out, just trying to get some sort of a flank on the other team. Pushes for power weapons were just these phenomenal battles. It was the battle before the battle, making that rush for the boom shot or for the sniper on Gridlock. Sadly, not really showcasing any gameplay like that because I wasn't playing with an actual team, but I can tell you from my time with this beta that if you try and roll alone and you run up against another team that is actually communicating, you're going to get stomped out. It doesn't even matter how many power weapons you have. And frankly, if the other team is communicating, you're not going to get your hands on the power weapons. And that's what the Gears of War franchise was originally about. The game was so amazing because of that. I had some of my best teamwork memories with my friends playing the original Gears of War, just coordinating flanks and making really precise breakouts. I mean, that was another big part of the Gears of War experience going back to Execution. The original mode, Execution and Warzone, it was all about the breakout. Basically holding down A would put you into that roadie run and you made your line. Everyone knew where they were going before the round even started. All right, I'm going sniper, I'll run the frags, you go boom shot. Not many games can offer that type of experience, and the franchise got away from that as it developed and as things changed. So it's really wonderful to see all of that still intact in this original Gears of War Ultimate Edition. It makes me really excited to play this multiplayer. The other thing it does is make you remember just how competitive this game can actually be, which is why I don't recommend playing it alone, because it was already a really painful experience playing this game solo for me. It was just incredibly harsh, getting ran over by teams that were honestly communicating. I can't say anything negative about that team that was beating us. They weren't cheating. It wasn't down to netcode. They were winning because they had teamwork and we had none. But that's what made Gears of War so amazing. It was that really well-crafted tactical cover-based shooter. And that is just so present here. It makes me so happy to see it return. Of course, it has a brand new set of paint. brand new layer of paint, whatever you want to call it. Everything has been reworked. You can see the lighting, lots of texture changes. The maps, the game still doesn't look like on the level of Gears of War 3 in terms of color palette, but it looks a lot better. They've even changed some of the sound effects. I've noticed the pistol sound effect has been overhauled, even the shotgun and the sniper rifle. The Lancer seems to be the only one that still sounds, you know, dead on, as well as the boom shot. So there's been some alterations to that. And of course, this is something that they're going to be testing and modifying throughout the course of the beta, as well as the full release in August for the multiplayer component of this. But I'm just, I'm blown away by how much this is the original Gears of War. And I think that Gears of War 4 can learn a lot from this, and I hope that by working on this remaster, they recognized what made Gears of War's multiplayer so good in the first place, and that we can step away from the shotgun rolling nonsense. Because as much as people might think that that was a good thing, it's not Gears of War. You know, you're offering an experience that's, in my opinion, can be found just about anywhere else. I don't want this twitchy third-person type combat. I want this tactical cover-based shooter experience that Gears of War 1 was so well known for. I want to see that return. And, you know, if they're making that push for the sort of return to sci-fi horror in the story from what we saw with the first trailer for Gears 4, I hope the multiplayer, you know, harkens back to its roots and remembers what made it so good in the first place. Now, they did actually carry over some modern elements. We have the tagging system, the new sensitivity options are here now, and I hope they continue to add little refinements like that to the experience. We're also seeing weapon skins, and we're going to have a larger cast of characters. Now, they've only announced a small set of maps from the get-go. We have, like, Gridlock, War Machine, Canals, and a few other key maps. I hope that at some point we can see all of the maps from the original game come back to the remaster. I think that would be really, really exciting. And it's only 2 months away. Like, I can't get over the fact this is actually coming out in August, because not only am I really stoked to actually have Gears multiplayer before the release of Gears of War 4, which, let's be honest, probably isn't coming out till spring. It's probably got a ways, maybe even next year, holiday, I know they're saying. You know, we've got a long way to go before we're going to see Gears 4. So having something like this that hopefully they're going to upkeep and they're going to balance and they're going to add more content to, I am all about that. Not to mention, I get to replay the single player, I get to replay the story cooperatively or through single player with my brother, just like I did back in the day on all of the different difficulty levels. That's something that I'm really excited for. I think this is the remaster that a lot of us were looking forward to. It's wonderful to play Gears of War, the original, with such great netcode. I hope that they keep improving and working on the connection. And, you know, I'm just stoked, man. I'm stoked. You guys can definitely expect to see more Gears on the channel. I'll throw it up every now and again. I know there's not a lot of people who are massively interested in it, but I think it's a game that deserves a lot more attention than it ever originally received going back to the original. And that this multiplayer is the best multiplayer in the franchise. I'm stoked to have it back. I know that's pretty much all I've been saying this entire video, but that is really what I wanted to focus on. Now, cool thing about the beta, they're actually going to be rotating maps and game modes, so it appears that the first couple days of the beta we're playing on Gridlock, and we've got sort of just classic start, Lancers and Nashers, and we're playing Team Deathmatch. I want to see Execution come back. As much as Team Deathmatch is alright, it's not the original Gears of War mode in my opinion. I never was a fan of how popular Team Deathmatch became in Gears of War 3. Execution really just pushed home, like I said, that tactical cover-based third-person shooter elements. And when you start adding respawns into the mix, it sort of removes all of your hard work when you make that really good flank just to know that that guy's going to respawn again. You kind of keep redoing it over and over. It feels very redundant to me. In my opinion, Execution, Warzone where it's at, especially Execution, push the player out into the open, make them take that risk to eliminate that downed opponent, get that curb stomp. I sadly did not get a single chance to record a curb stomp as much as I really wanted one for the end of this video. It just could not make it happen. If you guys have any questions for me regarding the beta, if you've been playing it, let me know what you think of it. Are you excited for the release of this remaster in August? And what did you think of the Gears of War 4 trailer? I was pretty happy with that. A lot of awesome stuff there. Let me know all of your thoughts and any questions down in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next one.